Gird your loins, I'm doing VEDA. Hi guys! It has been more than a week, but less than 5 months. So I feel like, at least I'm making some progress in the video making category. Anyway, because apparently I'm only capable of making videos when I am voluntarily obligated to make them every day for a month, I'm doing VEDA again. Anyway, today I'm going to do the 10 influential books tag, which I was not tagged in, but I'm doing it anyway because I like it. So I'm going to be listing 10 books that were really influential for me, whether that's like getting me back into reading or keeping me reading, that they just had a message that I really liked. In no particular order, number 1 is the Harry Potter series, obviously. It's so hard to pick one book, but I mean, probably the first one because that was the one that got me hooked. That's really why I started reading in the first place. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is number 1. Number 2 is more recent. You probably definitely know that I'm obsessed with the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. So Pride and Prejudice. I finally freaking read Pride and Prejudice. It had been assigned to me in school years ago and I didn't actually read it. I just faked my way through it. Actually read it this time and oh my gosh, I'm in love with it and I've reread it since, and I own 6 versions of it because they're pretty. Third on my list is my favorite book by John Green, Paper Towns, and I am super thrilled because they just announced that they're going to be adapting Paper Towns into a movie as well by the same crew as The Fault in Our Stars. And I love The Fault in Our Stars, don't get me wrong, but Paper Towns was the first John Green book that I could not put down. I really, really loved it. I loved the message. That book has a special place in my heart. Another book more recently that I have read is Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. I love Tina Fey. I recently binge watched all of 30 Rock and I became obsessed with her. So I decided I of course had to read her autobiography, and it is hilarious and so good, and it actually has, some surprising messages in it that just seem really relevant to what I want to accomplish in the future, and I just really, really liked that. I actually listened to the audiobook for that one, I should clarify, because she read it and it was hilarious. So yeah. Number 5 is Anna and the French Kiss. This is by Stephanie Perkins, who's a lovely, wonderful, hilarious young adult author. I was always a really bookish person, but I just stopped really having the ambition to sit down and read a book, and I read this book in high school after pretty much the entire internet recommended it, and it totally got me hooked on reading again, and I started reading a lot of young adult fiction, and I think that this book is really responsible for keeping me reading throughout high school and into, today. Number 6 is Dear Mr. Potter, which I actually have here. I got this book at LeakyCon 2012, I think. It just sums up everything that I've ever felt about the Harry Potter fandom and why I love it so much and why I connected to it, and it's just great to see all these other people's stories from it, and I love it a lot, and it's just, it makes my heart happy. I don't know. Number 7, I can count, is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I don't think I've ever connected to a book as much as I have connected to Fangirl. It is so accurate to what I have experienced in fandom, and it is just amazing, and you should all read it. Number 8 is Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is by Stephen Chbosky, and it is just amazing. I'm sure everybody has read this book. Everyone ever has talked about it or had it assigned in school or whatever. I just really love it. It's a really good growing up story with some kind of serious undertones, but it still manages to be funny and witty, and I just really, really love it. Number 9 is another book that I read recently, and that is The Beginning of Everything by Robin Schneider. It is another young adult book. As you can see, young adult fiction has really influenced my life, but I am perfectly okay with that. It was just amazing, so I decided I needed to wear it on my body, as seen here. And number 10, this one's weird, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a bunch of crap for it, but oh, do I want to say it? Twilight. I know it's got this stigma of being this terrible teenage girl, crappy unhealthy relationship, romance, I get that, and I know it, and I understand that, but at the point in my life when I first started reading Twilight, it made me want to read it all the time. Like, I loved those books. And my camera just died because clearly it doesn't approve of what I'm talking about. So yeah, that is it. Those are my top 10 influential books, at least as of right now. I don't have my full bookcase here, so I can't exactly be sure that I picked all the books that I think accurately represent me, but for right now, we're gonna stick with those 10. And in the comments, if you want to leave a comment, I know the comment system is kind of crappy now, tell me what your most influential book you've ever read is, and maybe I will check it out, because I'm in the market for some new books right now. And that is all. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!